My timeline on Twitter is filled with people posting this video of Danny Lalonde's talking about how she, when she was working on this team called Validate, only hired people of color. I posted this in the video I made about Tales of Kenzera Zhao, which is made by Surgeon Studios, Abubakar Salim's studio. I interviewed him. I'll link to that video below, but it's just on my channel. And I talked in that video kind of about how, Surgeon Studios is an independent studio. It has nothing to do with this woman. It's not owned by EA, and it has a diverse team of people, white people included, who made it. And how kind of like, this is what I think what a lot of people we've been talking about, like, we don't want just like token diversity. When we talk about representation and diversity, we want games like Zao, which are, it's a fantasy about African folklore. And so it's not just, tokenistic. It's actually, doing a cool thing. And someone pointed out to me that, culture warriors, people are really embroiled in the culture war. They don't want it to ever end. So even when there's something like a victory, like it doesn't matter. The war must go on. The war never ends. That's the fun of it. Anyways, so I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit more about this person and EA. Danny Lalonde is not the lead developer on the Black Panther game at Cliffhanger Games. She was not a part of Cliffhanger Games when she was talking about her team at Validate. She wasn't working there yet. She is, in fact, an associative narrative designer at Cliffhanger Games, which makes her pretty low down the list of people in charge. She's not the lead developer. She's not even the lead writer or narrative designer. She is an associate narrative designer. I will post a screenshot of her LinkedIn page to show you this. So this is, even if she was a lead in this other game back in the day, she's not the lead here. And in fact, if you look at the LinkedIn page for Cliffhanger Games, making Black Panther, you'll notice there are many, many, many white people who work there. This is not a studio that does not hire white people. There are white people, black people, Asian people, whatever. Clearly a diverse team making a game, a Marvel game. So that, right there, it's obvious that what she was talking about was a different organization prior to her working at EA. Now, so this whole line that EA is racist, EA is not hiring white people or whatever, is just wrong, factually wrong. Was the stuff she said in that video also wrong? I would say yes, it was. I think it's wrong to say we won't hire white people because they make an unsafe space for people of color. I think that goes against the grain of everything we're hopefully trying to do, which is everybody getting along, people of all races and religions and political beliefs getting along. I know that's a pipe dream, and it will never happen, but that is the goal. So we shouldn't not hire white people. We shouldn't not hire black people. That's very obvious. Now, how does this reflect on EA? I mean, I doubt that EA had any idea, first of all, when they hired her, that she'd ever made this video. Now, personally, I think, I don't think you should, I don't think you should not hire somebody because of something like this. I think that she was in a misguided way trying to do what she thought was right. And I do think that it was wrong, but I don't think it was necessarily maliciously wrong. And I certainly don't think that it reflects on Cliffhanger Games or Electronic Arts. And it's funny because I've made videos and written about EA very critically in the past, but over Mass Effect 3 and the BioWare drama and all the sort of EA used to get worst company of the year awards all the time, and boy, that's a long time ago now. It's like a decade ago or more than a decade ago. Mass Effect 3, the retake Mass Effect, that was 12 years ago. Boy, do I feel old. Anyways, Cliffhanger Games. It's led by Kevin Stevens for Monolith Productions. They've brought together an accomplished talent with leaders from the critically acclaimed and innovative action-adventure game Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, along with veterans from top franchises including Halo Infinite, God of War, Call of Duty, and others. Pretty normal stuff. So this whole idea that like EA is racist, blah 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 blah, the lead developer is this won't hire white people, it is all bullshit. It's just bullshit drummed up by people who are really excited to be able to call black people racist. It feels very much like a bunch of racists are just excited. Like, to me, it's like, obviously, the nuanced take is to say, what she said is wrong, yada, yada, yada. We move on. We research it. We look up the company on LinkedIn. We do a little bit of work. This is what I'm doing here, right? Just the most basic stuff. Trying to look at this with a little bit of nuance. Whatever. But the glee and the fervor with which people are approaching this subject, just how excited they are to say that EA is racist, that this woman is racist. It's just so exciting when it's a black person that you can accuse of racism. I feel like that's very much like the racist's wet dream. Like, ooh, I get to call somebody else racist, because I'm racist, so I can call other people racist. Ha ha ha. Look, it's stupid when people say you can't be racist against white people. Racism, I almost said racism is colorblind, which is funny. But it is in a way. Like, it doesn't matter what race you are. Bigotry is bigotry. If you don't like somebody because, they're ginger, that's kind of, you're Eric Cartman. But if you don't like people because they're Christian, or you don't like people because they're atheists, or you don't like people because they're black or white or whatever, bigotry is bigotry. It doesn't matter. If you don't hire, if someone were to say, I don't hire Muslims for my game team because they think it's okay, but they're actually doing microaggressions, I would say that's wrong, whatever. Like, she was in the wrong here. And again, I think that just in this culture right now, people do say crazy things or take these crazy positions because they really were having it beaten into our head that like this, that like all white people are racist or whatever. I mean, and that's unfortunate because like clearly if you look at my Twitter timeline right now, there are a lot of fucking racists out there. And they just get cover when you call everybody a racist. The real racists just have a lot of, camouflage at that point. So anyways, just wanted to make that very clear that this woman is not the lead designer on Black Panther. That Cliffhanger Games actually you can check their LinkedIn. They hire all different races, men, women, whatever. And this whole narrative that's being spun is bullshit. And at the same time, what this person said in the past was wrong. And now personally, I believe that we should allow people to make mistakes and learn from them. I'm sure that her life right now is not great. I'm sure a lot of people are harassing her, and I'm sure that I'm sure at work things are, I am sure that it is not great. And I feel bad for her. And I hope that people will shut the fuck up about it, honestly. EA sucks for a lot of reasons. Yes, they do. But this is not really one of them. And certainly them publishing an independent game about Metroidvania, about grief and African folklore, that's pretty much one of the coolest things EA's done in a long time, if you ask me. So I love seeing indie games get exposure, and I love seeing indie games get made and published. And, I hope this succeeds. I think that, or honestly, anybody this pissed off about this issue is such a small portion of the basic people who would buy this game anyways. I don't think it'll matter. How they handle this, I just hope that we can get a little more sanity, man. I hope that we don't have people saying that, she never should have said that publicly. Even if that was her policy, obviously she should not have said that. But really, hopefully we can have if most of these companies, most of these developers I look at, there is more and more diversity, and I think that is a good thing. And I think that if you go to the other extreme and say, "Oh no, we're not going to hire white people," that you're just going to the other extreme, and that just leads down the same dark, shitty path that we were on for so long when people wouldn't hire black people. Like, we don't want to just reverse that. We want to change things. We want things to be fucking better, man. Like, I don't know. Anyways, hopefully the Black Panther game is good. I've not been impressed by many of the superhero games that have come out. Spider-Man's pretty good, but a lot of them have been pretty disappointing. So we'll see. Other games coming out soon. Rise of the Ronin, that's coming out real soon, as well as Dragon's Dogma 2. So I need to get playing some games, and I need to make some videos about other cool shows like Shogun and whatnot. And I'm trying. This has been a crazy week. I am way behind on everything. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Take a deep breath. I am going to do a podcast about the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff in like a week or so, with Jason Rose and Ollie Barter. So we will talk about that more. But for now, keep calm, play some fucking video games, and have a lovely day. Peace.